As everybody said tonight, it's great to see all of these faces, and it's wonderful to hear words like that in the introduction, and Johnny got my name right. I remember the very first day I stepped onto Bishop Almont's campus as a student. My very first class was in PE with Tate Duff. And as he called roll, he said, Lacroix, Lesko, Locker. And I raised my hand and I said, that's Lokar, sir. And he said, that's what I said, Locker. And so I was Locker for the rest of the season with Coach Duff, and I see so many other people. Coach Ryan was my freshman algebra teacher, and Coach Patricio was senior social studies teacher, and he used to always tell us if we listen, we might learn. And I use that to this day. But as far as being coaching mentors, I remember a day after a football game late at night in the faculty house, and Coach Patricio and Joe Rogers and Bob Woods were still talking about the game. And Coach Woods took out a pen and drew a bunch of circles on a napkin and drew up a play. And Coach Rogers drew a bunch of X's and how he would stop that play. And Coach Woods looked at one of the O's and he said, well, what are you going to do now? And Coach Patricio took the pen and said, that X has got to make a great play. And as we got ready for this week, I watched some highlight film, and we would execute our offense, we'd run our plays to perfection, and we'd miss a shot. And this X right back here would get a rebound and put it back in, and all of a sudden it became a great play. Congratulations to Coach Haggerty. I know that's been mentioned a couple of times. I know exactly what it feels like. Yeah, go ahead. To be hired as a coach at your alma mater, I felt like I dreamed, died and gone to heaven, had a dream that was like that. And I had come from a program up in the foothills that kind of thinks that they're the best basketball program in the valley. And coach up there was a longtime mentor, and he was at the gates with St. Peter. And St. Peter said, we're going to show you where you're going to be for the rest of eternity. So we walked through this beautiful forest and saw a craftsman home with black trim and a big red door and a G on the door. And he told the coach, this is where you're going to be for the rest of eternity. And just at that time, we looked up a big hill, and there was a golden walkway with a blue sapphire studded rail, and a beautiful Tudor mansion at the top with a golden flagpole and a big, huge A on a flag in front of the house. And Coach said, I've won 400 games, I've coached for 25 years, I have 4 national championships. Lokar gets hired and he gets this mansion at the top of the hill. And St. Peter said, that's not Lokar's house, that's God's house. So that standard that makes even him a big fan travels nationwide. I get a chance to speak to organizations across the country, and I was in Chicago talking to a group of athletic directors, and they said, Bishop Almont, that's the school that the football team came back here a number of years ago and played. A good team. Coach Salter's here. Yeah, that was them. And I was in Burlington, Vermont, the baseball coach came and said, that's the school that won 2 national championships in baseball recently, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So we represent something that goes far beyond our area, our section, our state. It's really a tradition that's nationwide that we're all trying to carry on. And as coaches, we're up here because we've won some games, and fortunately maybe the last couple of games of the year that are most important. But we've all had years where we've done just as good a job, and the ball didn't bounce that way. And it's the life lessons that you learn during that time, when you win and when you don't win, that really carries athletes through, and they're the ones that are to be commended. Athletes are for participating in this laboratory of life that we call sports. Thanks very much.